Hi, this is Jamie Arenthal. Welcome to your vinyasa yoga class. Please use props, straps, any blocks that you have around to help you to modify the poses to make them fit you and not the other way around. Let's get started. So let's begin standing at the front of our mats. And go ahead and lift your toes, spread them out, and lay them back down. And take a moment just to rock back and forth, maybe side to side. And then just find your center. You can lift your kneecaps up a little bit, activating your thighs. You can engage Mula Bandha, that sensation at the perineum. Lift your heart as you inhale. And you can circle your shoulders back and down behind you so that your palms face forward. Inhale, reach up, palms together. And as you exhale, bring your prayer hands to the center of your heart. Close your eyes, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Set your intention for your yoga practice today. Whatever first comes to mind is usually best. Or you can always use ahimsa, Sanskrit for nonviolence, which to me means loving kindness and compassion, understanding, patience, self-love. Go ahead and float your eyes open. Inhale your hands up. And you can take a bend over to one side, exhale. And as you inhale, come back to center. And exhale to the other side. Inhale to center. Exhale to the side. Inhale, center. And exhale to the side. And back to center. Release your hands, swan dive over. Keep knees soft here to protect your back. Shake your head no, shake your head yes, shake your shoulders, shake your tush. And then with bent knees and chin tucked, roll up one vertebra at a time, coming to standing pose, Tadasana, shoulders behind. Inhale again, reaching up. Exhaling, swan dive over. Knees soft. This time, walk your hands halfway up, gaze forward, and we'll do a little standing cat-cow. So as you inhale, the tail is lifted, the gaze is lifted. This is cow. And as you exhale, pull your belly button in, tuck your chin, round over, nose to knees. This is cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Pull that belly button into your spine. One more. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Bend your knees, roll up, head last to come up. Circling those shoulders back and behind. Sun salutations. So I'll stand sideways. Inhale the arms up. Swan dive over. Inhale halfway up, flat back. And exhale, forward fold, nose to knees. Step your right leg back, lower the right knee down, hook your thumbs and rise up, Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, release the fingers to the floor. You can release your right toes and walk your hands back, flexing the left foot. You could always use blocks under your hands here. Simply walk them forward, press that right hip forward to stretch that thigh, and then walk yourself back like a half split, stretching the back of the left leg. One more. Inhale, coming forward. Hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank, lower knees, chin and chest. Inhale onto your belly, Toes down, kneecaps lifting for baby cobra. Exhale, press back, bend your knees. Give yourself a little bit of relief here in child's pose, and then find your way to downward facing dog. You can lift that right leg up, step it forward, left knee down. We'll take a gentle twist, right arm up. So keep in mind, you can always put padding under your back knee, or if it's uncomfortable, you can always lift that knee off the floor. Right hand down, left foot forward, forward fold. Look forward, inhale halfway up, and then reverse your swan dive, hinging at the hip, palms together, exhale, centering breath at the heart. Left side, deep breath in, exhale to fold. Halfway up, exhale, nose to knees. Left foot steps back, lower the left knee, hook thumbs, rise up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And as you exhale, fingertips down, release the left toes, walk your hands back and flex that right foot. Inhale, come forward, press that left thigh to stretch the left hip flexor, and then exhale, stretching the right hamstring. Again, inhale, come forward, exhale back. And this time, stay forward, hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Coming through a modified vinyasa, inhale, plank, exhale, knees, chin, chest. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, child's pose. And then find your way to downward facing dog. If you like, left leg up, step it forward, right knee down, left arm up to twist. Again, you could always lift that back knee off the floor. Left hand down, right foot forward, forward fold. Remember, knees can be soft all the way through today's practice if you're nursing a tweaky back, a lower spine. And again, instead of reversing your swan dive as we did, you could always continue to roll up, just giving yourself a little massage. Inhale, swan dive over. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale to fold, right leg back. Your choice if you want that knee on the floor or not. Anjaneyasana, either high or low lunge. And exhale, downward facing dog. Coming through the full vinyasa, you can watch or modify. Inhale, plank. Lift those kneecaps up. As you exhale, just the elbows bend, chaturanga. As you inhale, just the tops of your feet and hands touch the floor. Upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Straight legs. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, the right leg, and step it forward. Right arm up, twisting lunge. Right hand down, left foot forward, forward fold, Uttanasana. Either reverse your swan or roll up. And exhale, centering breath to the heart. Left side, deep breath in. Swan dive, fold. Flat back, lift. Exhale, nose to knees. Left leg back. High lunge. Downward facing dog. Your vinyasa. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Left leg up, step it forward. Left arm up, twisting lunge. Left hand down, right foot forward, forward fold. Rising up. And prayer to heart. Moving on, bend your knees, circle arms by ears. Utkatasana. Notice you're sitting back on your heels. You could wiggle your toes and see them. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back, prepare. Feel free at this point to always step back, right, left, or left, right, or looking forward, jump back, coming right into your vinyasa, or feel free to just step back to downward facing dog, enjoying that time there. Inhale the right leg, forward, left heel down, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up, warrior one. Your vinyasa will meet you in downward facing dog. Five breaths in downward dog. Recall that you could always bend your knees here and do those breaths in child's pose. Looking forward, bend your knees. You could step right, step left, or quietly hop forward. Flat back, inhale, and exhale, fold, let it go. Chair pose. Tadasana. We'll repeat that. Chair, forward fold, half, prepare, vinyasa, downward dog, right leg up, warrior one. Vinyasa to downward facing dog. Left leg up, warrior one. Vinyasa. Downward dog. 5 breaths. Eyes are open, lips are closed, gazing at your knees, ankles, toes. Bend your knees, step left, right, or hop. Flat back, fold, chair pose. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, prepare. Vinyasa. Right leg up. Warrior one. Vinyasa. Left leg. Warrior one. Vinyasa. Downward facing. 5 breaths. Your journey forward flat back, fold, chair pose, standing. Let's do 2 more. We'll make it 5 today. Chair, fold, prepare, vinyasa, down dog, warrior 1, vinyasa, left leg, warrior 1, vinyasa, down dog, 5 breaths. Your journey forward, flat back, fold, chair, stand. Last one, chair, fold, prepare, vinyasa, down dog, right leg, warrior 1, vinyasa, down dog, left leg, warrior 1, vinyasa, down dog, 5 breaths. Lips closed, eyes open. Maintaining that fire you've created. Journey forward. Flat back. Fold. Chair. Stand. Standing balance poses. So I always have my chairs handy. You can use chairs, you can use the wall, whatever you need here. And I'll mirror you. So beginning on the right leg, let's lift the left knee up. If you like, you can raise your arms up. And keeping your back neutral. So try not to tip your pelvis under, right? Try and stay lifted only as much as you can without flattening out that lower back. And if you like, you can extend that right leg. If it's too much, remember, you can always keep that knee bent. From here, find a spot on the floor to gaze at and start to move that left leg behind you, coming to warrior 3. Now, warrior 3, again, you could be holding on to something, but if your arms are out by your ears, thumbs point up, that's to help us keep our shoulders plugged in, keep the neck long, no wrinkles, and the back of the neck. One more breath. And then coming back to stand, let's take that left foot onto the right leg, preparing for tree pose. So just a word here. The heel of that left foot is below the right knee, right? You can, of course, tuck that heel into the groin. You can do that as well. And if you feel like you need even more support, you can do kickstand. So the left toe on the floor, left heel at the right ankle. So you get to decide. but anywhere but directly on that knee. We want it below or above. And then from here, you can extend your arms up if that feels good. And I have pointer touching thumb. Jana Mudra. Try and keep the pelvis level. So just notice if you're hiking up that hip, we want to try and keep that crease parallel to the floor. And there's my chair. If you need it too, go ahead. And when you're ready, let's try, bring the hands to the heart, turn that knee forward, bend that right knee and step back into a lunge. And we could take a twist here, a nice easy twist. We take that left arm forward and the right arm back and look over the left thumb. If you want a little bit more, you can always keep those hands in a prayer at your heart and cross the left elbow over the right knee. Use your right hand, press down on the left to pivot your heart up towards your prayer thumbs. And of course, there's always the original twisting lunge that we did before. And then come out of the twist, step your right foot forward, bend your knees, chair pose, and then we'll rise. Let's do the other side. I'm doing well on the right, left. Let's see if I could keep that up. So this time we're standing on the left leg, yeah? Lift that right knee up. You can always hold on. If you feel like you've got a little bit more balance, you can always raise the arms up. And for some of you, you can extend that right leg forward. For me, what it does is it just flattens out my back. So I'd rather you keep a naturally curved spine here. The posture, or our posture, is really the foundation for health, continuing health, right? We want to maintain that long spine so there's enough room for our organs. We keep blood flowing. Yeah, good. And then to come out of this, start to reach that right leg behind you, coming into your warrior one. Thumbs turned up. You can always hold on. And you're focusing, right? You've got your gaze on a spot that's maybe 3 feet in front of you on the floor. And when you're ready, coming back up. And let's turn this into tree pose. So again, level hips. You can place the heel of that right foot below your knee. You can bring that up into your groin. You could use the kickstand, right? So pick what's right for you. And then if you like, float the arms up, maybe holding pointer to thumb. Jana Mudra. You're focusing on something that's not moving. Skin around your eyes is soft and relaxed. And then to come out of the pose, right knee forward, and we'll step that right leg back. Again, you can open those arms, bring the right arm forward and the left arm back, and have your gaze over the left finger. So that's a lovely twist if we're modifying or moderating today. The other option is to take that right elbow over the left knee, take your left hand and press down to lift your heart up towards your prayer hands. And of course, you always have the twisting lunge option if you so desire. And then hands to the floor, step your right foot forward, forward fold, shake it out. And then, of course, you could either roll your way up or take that chair pose and come to stand. So moving into some of the standing poses with a flow. From this point on, if you would like to eliminate vinyasas from the practice, of course you can. Chair pose, forward fold. Flat back, prepare. Step right, left, or hop your way back. Downward facing dog. Right leg up. Step it forward, warrior one. From here, we'll take that warrior one into warrior three. Again, I've got my chair to help. And then quietly come back to warrior one. So we'll do this 3 more times. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, warrior one. Try it at your own pace. And then finishing in warrior one. Open up to warrior two. Tip it back to peaceful. And then bring yourself to side angle with an extension. So extended side angle. And then we'll reverse the warrior, extended side angle. 3 of these. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Reverse warrior and extended side angle. Hands to the floor. Your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Left leg up. Warrior one. Taking this to warrior three. And back to warrior one. So I'm just using the arms. You could keep your arms out straight. That's even more challenging. I kind of like using the momentum. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale, warrior three. And hold that warrior one. Turn this into warrior two. Tip it back, peaceful. Side angle. Extended. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Reverse warrior, extended side angle. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Right leg up. Warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. And then we'll straighten that right leg, shift the hips to the left, find triangle pose. So from triangle pose, we'll turn this into half moon. So looking down, right knee bends. I brought my block over. It should be in the right corner of your mat. Float the left leg up. Left foot flex, toes pointing toward the side wall. And then land and come to your triangle pose. So we can inhale for half moon. Exhale, triangle. Now, variations with this top arm. Maybe you want it here, half bind. So inhale, half moon. Exhale, bound triangle. One more. Inhale, half moon. And exhale, triangle. Good. Go ahead and extend that triangle pose. You can bring the hands down to the floor. Actually, if you have your 2 blocks handy, we'll just take a moment for our pyramid pose. So adjust that right hip back and exhale everything over. Bend that right knee. Let's see. Bend the right knee and come to a supported warrior 3. And then if you like, you can bring that right arm up to the sky for a twisting or revolved half moon. Utthita Ardha Chandrasana. And then release your vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Left leg up. Warrior 1. Warrior 2. And straighten the left leg. Shift your hips over to the right. Prepare for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Good. And then turn your gaze down to your left big toe. Bend the left knee. Left hand on the block. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Keep your core strong as you land back to your triangle pose. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, triangle. And one more. Beautiful. And then bring those hands either to a block, right? And we'll square off those hips and come to that pyramid pose. Let your head go. Shift your left hip back, lower your head. Bend your knees, walk those blocks to the front corner of your mat and float the right leg up. So supported warrior 3, and then left arm lifts up to the sky for revolved half moon. A variation here, if this isn't working for you, stay in that pyramid pose with the legs. The blocks are under your shoulders and lift the left arm from here if you're wanting to skip the balance aspect of it. You have one more breath. And then release. Let's step it back. Vinyasa. Down dog. Right leg up. Right leg forward. Left heel down. This time we'll just take it right back to peaceful warrior and extended side angle. So you can stay here if this feels good to you. Just remember to keep lots of space under that right arm. Keep pressing away from the leg. And you can extend your side angle or you can bind. So turning that left palm away, bringing the left hand on top of your right thigh. And this might be perfect, right? This is exactly where you want to stay. Or if you like, you can take a full bind. Just remember, if you have to lean forward to clasp those hands, we want to lean back so that your right ear is over your right knee and not in front of it. And for those of you here who want it, you can always straighten that right leg and have a bound triangle. So it really just depends on you, how deep you want to go. And there's one other option here, and I don't even know if I can demonstrate it, but you can see if you can turn this bound situation into a balancing half moon. I can't, but maybe you can. I'm sure to try it again. Every failure is just another opportunity to try again. And then when you're ready, release, cartwheel the hands to the floor. Let's take a twist here. So ball of the left foot, right arm up to the sky. Good. And then your vinyasa or straight to downward facing dog. Left leg up, step it forward. And this time we'll come right to peaceful warrior. Left elbow on left thigh, side angle pose. Make lots of space under that left arm. And we'll sweep that right arm forward for an extended side angle. But of course, if you want the bind, right, you'll take that right hand behind you, placing the right palm on top of that left thigh. And if you want the full bind, you can reach under. Notice how my head comes forward, but then I slide everything back. So the knuckles are under my thigh, not my groin, and my left ear is right over my left knee. You can enjoy this, or straighten the left leg for a bound triangle. So if you had a camera over me, like bird's eye view, you would see my right shoulder stacked over my left ear stacked over my left ankle or toe. Yeah. And then for those of you who want to try that balance, that half moon, so you can look to the floor and walk that right leg in. Maybe, maybe not. You get to decide. A few more breaths. And then you can cartwheel your hands down. But let's take a twist. So ball of the right foot, left arm up to the sky. Just kind of releasing that spine. Nice. And then opportunity for vinyasa, should you want it, should you choose to accept this mission. Good. Then we'll move into our pigeon pose. So right leg lifts. As you exhale, bring the right knee outside your right hand. Wriggle the right toes up toward your left wrist. So in a perfect world, the right shin would be parallel with the top edge of your mat. And you can help that. You can walk that left knee back, and that'll help. Just make sure that the knee is pointing off the edge of your mat and not pointing forward, right? Coming on up to your fingertips, inhale for a back bend. And as you exhale, float your way down to your elbows, maybe stacking fists, forehead on back of hands, keeping head aligned with spine. Of course, if you want to go deeper, elbows go wide, hands flat, forehead back of hands. And there's always full prostration. Hands out in front of you, palms down, chest down, forehead or chin on the floor. And for those of you, if you notice your pelvis is not level, you can always use the block, not to sit on, right? We're not going to sit on the block. Just use it as like the gutter, protection, like a little boundary, just to remind you, like a little scaffolding. Also check back with that left foot. Make sure the leg isn't, or the heel isn't spinning out to the side. We want to be right on the top of the center of the foot. So your big toe and your little toe are both touching the floor. Use this opportunity to practice surrendering and acceptance. Imagine that you could just release all of the muscles in your face and your shoulders, belly, hips, and just melt your way into your mat. Come up safely, hands beneath your shoulders, lift up. And we can take a back bend here. Fingertips, lifting the heart. For some of you, there might be a bind. So you can always bend that left knee, reach around with the left hand, try to come to the inside of that left foot. Thumb points up, and then rotate, revolve your gaze toward the back of the room. And you could go further if you like, bringing the toe to the crook of the left elbow, right arm raises, interlace fingers for Gomukhasana, hands, and this is king pigeon pose. Of course, any variation of this works. You get to choose. And then releasing it, step back, downward facing dog. And you can lift that right leg up and bend the knee and just circle the foot. Just release that hip, circle the knee, and then plant that right foot back down, optional vinyasa. Left leg up. And then bring the left knee outside your left wrist for pigeon. Walk your left foot up towards your right wrist. Walk your right leg back. Again, in a perfect world, which it surely isn't, the left shin is parallel to the top of your mat. You can come on up to your fingertips for a little preparatory back bend, just protecting that lower back, the lumbar, by having that left knee bent. Yeah. And your left knee is pointing off the edge of your mat, not straight forward. Coming back, melt into your elbows, stack fists if you like. You can go deeper if you want. Elbows wide, flat hands, forehead back of hands, or full prostration, palms face down, chest on the floor, chin or forehead on the mat. So do what's right for you. Use this opportunity to practice surrender and acceptance. See if you can soften the skin on your face, your shoulders, your belly, your hips. Just let go. Use that exhale to melt yourself into the mat. When you're ready, hands on your shoulders, lift up, back bending. Or if you want, there's king pigeon pose. So you can bend the right knee, right hand reaches around to the inside of that right foot, thumb points up. And if you want that bind, bring right toe to the crook of the right elbow, left arm lifts, Gomukhasana arms, or king pigeon pose. You can release, sit off to that left hip, sweep the right leg around and come to Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. The distance of your heels from your groin can vary. So traditional Baddha Konasana has the heels all the way in close to the groin. So to me, that's a little extreme. I like to practice one of my foot lengths from groin to the next heel. That works for me. But if you want, you can go 2 foot lengths out to Tarasana. Yeah, whichever one you've chosen, go ahead and move the flesh of your buttocks back and away Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then hinge forward. Play with it. See what works. See what you like. See if you can tuck your chin. Let your head go. Using this opportunity to soften the belly, soften the face, release the lumbar spine without forcing anything. And then pull your belly button in, walk your hands under the shoulders to come up. Just practice a little bit of boat pose, Navasana. Hands under those thighs, lift your chest up. So we want to roll those shoulders back behind us, having chest up. And then the first step for boat pose, we can lean back, keeping that spine erect. If you find that lower back rounds, then come back a step, right? We want to stay in that neutral spine. Another thing, if you have a block hands, you can always put it between your knees, and that'll help you to use those adductor, the inner thigh muscles, which are part of that deep core musculature. Should you want more, you can balance on that tailbone. Should you want more, you can release your hands, palms face up, reaching out in front of you, or you can straighten your legs. So listen to your own body. If you have any lower back issues happening today, feet planted is probably the best. You could even support yourself this way. Okay, so feel free to modify for your needs. Always. That goes for life too, right? Have ahimsa for yourself, for others, kindness, compassion, love. And when you're ready, you can lift yourself up, Baddha Konasana or Tarasana, whichever you've chosen. And let it go. Tuck your chin. We have one more round of boat pose, if you like. Walking yourself up, knees together, maybe using that block. Inhale, erect spine, shoulders behind you. Lean back. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you balance. Maybe you release your hands. Maybe you extend your legs. If you notice any shaking, you might want to back off just a little bit. Work on keeping your breath smooth, even, continuous. Three more breaths. Baddha Konasana. Walk yourself up for our penultimate pose. So the one before the last pose. You can hold on if you like, pull your belly button in, and this time you can round your spine one vertebra at a time, roll yourself onto your back. Let's back bend here. So first, let's bring our spine to neutral. So feet go wide, and then windshield wipe your knees side to side. So this helps to reset our pelvis, releases the waist. These are the quadratus lumborum muscles, sometimes referred to as love handles. Good. And then feet flat on the floor, walk your feet hip width apart. And if you have any trouble distinguishing how wide your hips are, you could actually use a block. So I like to turn my block flat, and that's about where my hip points are to my knees. I could show you this way, right? So it's a sideways, I have it this way. You don't need that. It's just one way to keep yourself parallel, feet hip width apart and parallel. Then tuck your shoulder blades beneath you. Inhale and lift hips up. For those of you who want, you could also, if you have that second block, take that block, sideways, the long way, sideways, and you can place that block under your sacrum. So the sacrum is midway between your waist and your tailbone, going sideways, so you've got nice support. And actually the bigger blocks work even better here than the narrower ones. You could use 2 blocks side by side. And then for those of you who wanted more, you can always turn this into full wheel. So fingertips pointing towards your shoulders, and then lift up, straighten your arms. And I do find that having the block between your knees for full wheel is a sort of a rude awakening, if you would, because the lower back can arch more when the legs are splayed open. So by keeping your legs parallel to one another, you actually maintain the integrity of the lumbar spine, and more of the spinal extension comes from your rib cage, your thoracic spine, and less from your lumbar, which, believe me, gets a workout. So we don't always want to exacerbate. So keeping those knees parallel, hugging that block is very helpful. But you get to decide. If you're in full wheel, you can always come down now. And if you've got this support underneath you, you can always release and roll down one vertebra at a time. Wide feet to the outer edges of your mat, windshield wipe those knees. And we'll take a twist. So I guess this will be the penultimate pose, the belly twist. And you can hug those knees into your chest and first drop those knees over to your left side. Eyes to the right, right arm extended. You could use your left hand as a weight on your right thigh if you want. So I'm using it to kind of pull that right hip to stack it over my left. And if you have any desire, you can always place the block between your knees and making it just a little bit kinder and gentler. Do have your palm facing up and your gaze toward that right palm. One other option for you, you can always straighten your right leg and reach for the big toes with your left hand. Or maybe you want a block and you could flex your foot and place it under that foot. It may be more apparent when we switch sides. We've got 3 more breaths. And then to come out of the pose, simply bend your knees, hug them into your chest, rock. And then we'll take it over to the right side. So again, knee over knee, and we're going to use this right hand, if you want, to try and draw that left knee on top of the right. You have that option if you want to place a block between your knees, just to make it a little bit easier. Or you could hold, straighten that left leg and hold with the right fingers on the big toe, or just rest that foot on the block. And then turn your gaze over to your left palm. Out of the pose, bend your knees, hug the knees into your chest, and you can circle those knees. For your final relaxation, if you like, and you have blocks handy, you can bring the soles of the feet together. I like to use a block under each knee that looks like this, right? For a Baddha Konasana, and maybe your hands are on your hip bones, or if you prefer, you can tent your knees or legs out to a comfortable V. If you're going to have your legs in a V, tuck your buttocks underneath you so that your knees and toes splay out to either side. And then whichever position you've chosen with your legs, tuck the shoulder blades beneath you, tuck your chin for a moment. Find that perfect Shavasana pose, that position where you can fully surrender, let go, release any tightness in muscles, softening the skin on your face, softening your shoulders, letting them get heavy, releasing your arms, your hands, let your fingers go. See if you can soften your belly, breathing naturally, gently, in through the nose and out through the nose. Soften your buttocks, letting them be heavy, melting into the earth, letting your thighs rest, relax, toes, soft, easy. Using this time to balance out all of the energy invoked through our asana, allowing the brain to get the message that it's time to rest. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Softening face, throat, shoulders, arms, softening chest, belly, buttock, legs. Using the exhalation to let go, release, surrender, and accept. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose, softening, releasing, surrendering, and accepting. Feeling free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. If you'd like to come out of Shavasana, be gentle, starting with your breath, inhaling, and open your mouth to exhale. Inhaling deeply, belly rises. Exhale. Inhaling deeply, belly rises. Moving your fingers, moving your toes. Clenching hands into fists. And splaying the hands out wide, pointing your toes, flexing your heels, repeating. Circle your hands at the wrist, circle your feet at the ankles, reverse the direction, and then carefully, if your knees are not bent, bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor, rock your knees side to side, rolling everything over to one side in a side lying child's pose. Your eyes can remain closed to continue this restfulness, this balancing act that we do. And then use your hands, press yourself up to Sukhasana, easy seated pose. We'll complete our yoga practice with the word namaste, a blessing and a greeting, which means the light and the love in me recognizes and bows to the light and the love in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for your yoga practice. Have a wonderful day, evening, weekend.